talks with wine.
Hey, I'm talking with that wine.
Hey, talks
with wine. Hey, I'm talking with that wine.
What you
Hey,
said?
what is it this week? It's red. What is it this week? It's red.
What's the topic this week? Hey,
Hey,
what's the topic this week?
Hey, hey. I'm not joining them.
But that was cute. That was cute.
Let me tell you, we need a recording studio. Drop a couple vocals.
Was that called? Well,
Welcome back, guys. I am your host, Marley.
Kamaya.
And I am Tamara. And this is
Talks
Close
with
with
Wine.
Wine. Oh.
Talks with Wine.
That's my other show. Sorry, y'all. That's after this one.
What are we talking about tonight, guys?
We're talking about college alternatives.
Okay.
Should you go?
I went.
Or should you ho?
Yo, you took the words out of my mouth. All
I
right.
can't stand these
No,
hoes.
should you go? Should you take up a trade? Should you feel it out? What should you do? Take a gap year, leap year, no year? Go in the office, register, and don't come back.
Alrighty.
Today's episode is brought to you by
Bridgewater State?
DeVry.
Just kidding.
Wait, what's the one? If you're sitting
ACDC?
at home,
Oh,
Everest. No, what is it? Education Connection had the best song.
what?
Education Connection.
Went to high school, didn't do great. Still, I gotta get more cash. More education is what I'm looking
for.
at.
I'm mad at
When
y'all.
I get a degree,
Y'all remember
I will
commercials?
make
Bigger,
a
bigger salary, education.
No, these are bad.
I remember the commercial.
Like bad, you know.
And this is, let me tell y'all, Everest sat there, he goes, are you tired of sitting at home on your couch
First of all, don't attack me like that. And
with
second of
nothing to
all,
do?
I'm changing the channel because you don't need to see anything.
I was too young to be going to Everest. So I don't
Listen,
really
if
care.
I'm sitting at home on my couch, I got a lot to do.
First
Sitting
things
on-
first. If you was watching Jerry Springer, you saw that commercial at least about 10, 11 times.
Word.
Like,
Anything
some
between
point-
the hours of 10 and 12.
a fact. And at some point, somebody got off that couch and, got their life together.
I mean, I guess we all got our lives together, right? We didn't all go to Everest,
No.
but
We
no,
went
we
somewhere.
did something.
When you
we
say-
got off the couch.
When you say together, like,
You got it somewhere.
all right. All right.
It's in the box.
I know
You
where
didn't
it
take
is.
out.
With that being said, so who went to college up in here? Y'all some educated women.
Mhm.
They
Yeah.
went,
You looking at a shorty with 3 degrees.
hey,
I
let me borrow
have
one.
I have one.
I have certifications.
Mm-mm.
That's good. That's not bad.
How long
Oh,
did it
yeah.
take you to finish college? How long did it take you to finish
7 years.
your secondary? It's post-secondary, right? That's what they call it?
Asked her if she got a degree.
She got it.
Listen, I just told you I have certifications.
Yeah, so how long? It took you 7?
It took me 7 years. I took, I guess, 2 years off, so it would have took me 5. I went to school out of state, went to community college, and then I graduated from a state school. So it took a while.
Okay. All right, before we ask about majors, where'd you go?
I started off at Pine Manor.
Did you munch on grass? Because I heard that's a thing at Pine
I
Manor.
did not. There was a lot of grass. The lawns were full. And honestly, I was just like, well, that's a great
Those
grass.
people
And
from
you
Boston,
enjoy yourself.
Those
But
people in Boston don't know what that means.
Oh, well, they enjoyed their grass, and I saw a lot of grass being mowed, but I stayed on the side in the bleachers
And
where,
ate a lot of meat.
yeah, where I belong. But to each their own. I mean, I have a lot of lawn mowing friends, and I have a lot of friends who get their lawns mowed. But hey,
Good.
to each their own. I started off at Pine Manor for biology because I wanted to be a marine biologist, and I switched over to psychology. I left Pine Manor and went to UMass Boston for all of a year. Then I was like, nope, I don't want to do psychology anymore. I lied, it's not fun. Then I just started working to the death of me. And then I started going back to school to Boston Architectural, where I got certifications in interior design.
All right.
What about
A
you?
little zip zop zippity bop.
I've been in school. Well, I was in school from 2009 to 2011. Sounds like a really long time. That's 9
I'm like, no,
years.
it doesn't.
That's 9 years.
You said 11?
Wait,
Stop.
what?
I'm like,
Sorry, come
we
again.
out.
2009 2019.
Okay.
2011 is when I completed so 2009 to 2011, I got my associate's degree.
Oh, that's cool.
I went to Miami-Dade College, and then I transferred to Bay State College.
Hey.
You know. And then from 2011, I took a year off. Well, not even a year. I took from May to January off.
So a semester.
Yeah, the fall semester. And then I went to UMass Boston, and I was there from 2012 to 2015. I got my bachelor's.
I probably saw you walking around campus. You probably saw me not going to class.
I got a bachelor's degree in economics, and then my time at UMass Boston shouldn't have been no longer than a year and a half, but it took some time because I changed my major 7 times.
Yeah, listen, and that is why I ended up with certifications, because I'm not about to waste more money, because ultimately I want to be everything under the sun.
And then and that's what happened.
But it's expensive.
It is. And then after I graduated in 2015, I graduated in 2015, took the semester. I did take a semester off. I jumped right into the master's program, and I got my master's from Cambridge College. Woo. And I finished in 2019.
Amen. That's a beautiful journey. We were there for the end.
The last part.
When you walked across, we saw you.
Actually, I lied. See, I don't even know my timetables. I took a year off because I started in 2016.
Long story short, Sis
I've been in school for
quite
a long
some time.
time.
She got the degrees to prove it. And
It's to the point where when I was done with school and I got my master's degree and I was sitting at home and I was just like...
On the couch not doing a damn thing?
No, I was sitting at home on a Saturday because Monday through Friday I do a lot of shit.
That's fair.
I was just like, I don't got no homework to do.
You don't owe nobody nothing.
I have no papers to
You ain't got
write.
no lab to log into.
I don't got no research to do. I was just
sure
like,
don't.
a shorty.
It's done.
But in a way, it comes contagious to some people because I'm just like,
Well, you're addicted to it. Now you're gonna go back for what?
I felt like Lynn. I was just like,
Okay.
girlfriend's reference.
All right.
I was like, I could go get a doctor. I could go become a doctor because people don't realize Lynn was a doctor.
Low key, yes, she was.
She got her PhD twice.
See, that's girlfriend facts I did not know.
Yes.
Shout out to you, Lynn.
Lynn got her PhD and she had a couple of master's degrees. Lynn was a career school. She was a career student. Yeah, you know how people are career criminals? She was a career student.
That's fair. Well,
She was just trying to get away from student loan debt.
That is what Tony said.
I'm on to her. That's what
I'm deferring because we're starting again next year. So,
Right.
So me and Tam said
Just
what
hold
we
that
got our degrees in. What is your degree in?
So,
What
Well,
you got
what you
certification in?
I ain't got no degree, Tommy.
You got certification in. What is yours in?
I went to school for criminal justice.
Ooh, respect.
Love
No, I went to school for criminal justice. My junior year, I legit was like, yo, I don't even want to do this no more. Let me try and switch.
Oh.
Oh, and then I sent
No.
you that motivational speech.
Before you sent me that.
Oh, okay.
Because Tamara got me through my junior and my senior year. Because I was like, bitch, I'm not going. She was like...
You need friends like that because I want to tell you, my last semester, UMass Boston was hard. And it wasn't hard because my classes were hard. I lied. It was hard because...
You hated it?
No.
Oh.
When I started, I told you I changed my major 7 times. When I started UMass Boston, I went in for business management. Then I saw that I had to take calculus. And I changed into criminal psychology.
I
And
feel
then
like
I
when
realized-
you see your course, when you see your like overview, and you're like, okay, what do I gotta take?
Right.
Calculus.
And that's what I did. I changed and I went to criminal
Does that
psychology.
say that?
I changed and went to criminal psychology.
That is wonderful.
And
Somebody has to.
Criminal psychology.
It was fun.
Criminal psychology, the curriculum was too long, so then I switched back and tried to get into the management program, and that didn't work. So I was in LIM as just a liberal arts student for 2 years, and then I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna become an econ major because I still like analytical work and I like research. No one told me that I would still have to take economical statistics, microeconomics and macroeconomics. Let me tell y'all, if y'all don't know about the Keynesian theory, don't bother learning it.
No,
All
kids,
right.
if that is what you want to do.
By all means, if economics is what you want to study, go right ahead. But I got gray hairs. I got gray hairs. That last semester, I sat on the toilet in my apartment, and I said, Dorian, I can't do this. I said, Dorian. She was like, Kamaya, it happens to the best of us. God is not going to give you something you can't handle. I said, he gave me this course.
Like, are you sure? Because I have watched the tests that have been handed to me.
And I don't know. It doesn't make...
Required.
You ever find yourself looking at the notes you took and be like, I don't understand this shit?
The notes didn't even match the
You take notes and you don't understand your notes.
When
your writing looks like someone else's writing. Ooh.
Oh my goodness.
Ooh, wait, I'm having a PTSD moment. Yo,
That
econ. Let me tell you, economical statistics, and they have you take it. Yo, we had a test. I'm sorry, this is a quick story. We had a test. We could write, it's an open book test. You could write your notes down on one paper.
How tiny was you writing them?
And you could use these notes. But I don't know what I was doing. Because when I looked back at my notes, I was just like, this is not chapter 4.
Your notes was like,
this is not what...
We really don't know. But wing it, because you got this.
How did I make it through college?
Yo, I feel like a lot of us ask that question.
So, well, now that you've asked that question, do you feel like it was worth it? Do you feel like you wish you would have taken an alternate route?
No, because I'm going to tell you like this. Everyone needs an experience for a reason. And college taught me a lot of discipline. Because I went into, like, when I graduated from high school, I'm going to be real honest with y'all. We can take this back to high school. I didn't start thinking about college till senior year of high school, all right? I was just like, oh, that's what I gotta do. Let me do it. Like, and I'm not, it's not like I'm dumb. Like, I want to let people know that I am not.
Oh, ma'am, you have 3 degrees. Master. We know.
No, because some people skate through.
You know what?
I don't know if you can skate through all the way to your master's, man.
Sis, you would be surprised at some of the extraordinary individuals that I work alongside with. Or service that feel superior to you because they have a piece of paper that says they're kind of superior,
but they're
really not,
because
they give you the work.
Because this is what a lot of people don't understand, and this is what I learned when I was younger. A lot of people go to school and they read to memorize. You don't read to comprehend.
That's true.
So I know a lot of shit. I just didn't focus on the stuff that I should know. I was taking Africana studies, and that had nothing to do with none of the degrees I had.
Oh, he was wasting.
I took literature. I was wasting all. I took creative writing.
She had many. Like you had doll hairs.
I had loans.
You had doll hairs because you had grants and Pels and like what?
And that's another. Okay, so there's one thing I would have done differently. I would have really sat down with a financial advisor, because they make you know those financial aid classes they make you take upon getting into college, where they make you sit down and fill out your financial aid prep. Y'all never had to do that.
I had a lady. I'm about to say I had a lady 3 days before I was supposed to pay for this bitch. So orientation day at Bay State College. You came in early. They sat you down. And they did like 20 kids at a time, I want to say. That's very good.
And they sat you. No, it still wasn't great, because it was one woman who gave you a folder with information in it. You read it, and then you agreed to the terms and conditions. They don't break down interest and the difference between interest on federal loans.
I'm about to say, they also don't tell you when you get that refund check.
Don't spend your refund check.
Do not.
But wait.
They don't tell you that you can. All right. So if you are an adopted child and you go to a state school, you attend college for free.
For the freeze.
You do not pay for school. If you are an adopted child and you go to a state college or university, you do not pay for school.
I gotta call my mama.
My ass.
We didn't do this right.
My ass was getting.
I'm right back.
These are things. I was getting. You know, my grandmother was my legal guardian, and she was deceased. So technically, technically, when I got to UMass, like Bay State, I had to pay. The bulk of my loans are from that private college. When I got to UMass Boston, essentially, my education should have been free. But they don't tell you you can deny your student loans. You can deny those. You don't have to accept them.
I do every month when they send me the little. What are you talking about? I said, oh, well, I didn't finish, so
I found this out from my youngest
7
sister.
years, and now it's gone.
The youngest, the baby girl, the one who is 4 years younger than me, she found out that, oh, I don't have to accept my. Now, mind you, now it sucks because you have to wait. I think your adopted waiver, it's called the adopted waivers fee. That doesn't kick in until like 3 months into your semester. And schools, schools want that check right then and there, and then they put you on a hold, and then they start dropping your classes. So what do you do as a student? You get frantic and you start accepting those student loans because you need to clear your classes so they don't get dropped.
Right.
So I have my student loans clearing, and then when that adopted waivers fee comes and that check clear, and I get that beautiful refund check for that semester, ask me what I got to show for that money.
These earrings.
Did you go on vacation? I hope you got
I travel.
Honestly.
I travel.
You guys.
But the moral of this story is to take those checks and put towards your not your refund, to your loan.
She had it right. Put it towards your refund.
Keep on refund, cause
it's your money anyways.
and then 12 years later, you looking at Sally Mae and Nelnet, and you having a roundtable discussion like so.
Or ACS or AAS.
Listen, when I speak to Nelnet, we will cross that bridge.
You haven't spoken to them yet?
They've been sending me correspondence.
I was gonna say because Nelnet knocked on my door the other day, and they was like, "Sis, garnished wages." I set up a payment plan.
Whoa.
Yes, these are things that I
mail like.
These are things that I wish I would have done.
You just read it in the light like, did I say garnet? Damn.
Those are things I wish I would have done differently. Because if you have someone really sit down and teach you financial literacy with school,
yeah, no, that's a real thing.
And the scholarships you could have gotten, like I wouldn't be like, all right, let's go around the table. What's your student loan debt?
My student loan debt is $38,000.
Oh, that's pretty. What's yours?
Or $39,000.
Honestly, because I didn't finish, mine is almost done. But when
how
when I left in total, it was about $32,000.
Raise your glasses. I am at $113,000. $113,000. $113,000.
That's
But let me tell you.
Bay State College.
If you let 7 years pass, you just ignore
don't
them.
listen to her.
You stay strong.
No.
And when they call, you just every time you just be a different person.
That doesn't happen. But that doesn't happen for loans. That only happens with credit cards.
I'm just kidding, y'all.
And that's the thing.
Pay your shit because they will take your wages. They will garnish.
They will take your
income tax
check.
letter. Right. They will take the whole check. That's happened to me.
Yes.
Because I did not. Because.
Look at Marley's face. This is real talk.
I tried.
That happened to me mostly because I had got to a point where I was like, listen, I'm not even making any money in my job. Like, I can't afford to pay for this. Like, so I'm just going to skirt this a little bit. So I deferred for a year, and then I was hoping, like, they wouldn't come back like, you would defer for a year, and then they give you, like, a day, and then the next day you got to pay what you said you was going to pay when you was on the phone with them last year.
Did you pay attention to your emails? Because what they normally do is you defer for a year, and when your year's almost up, they send you emails, like, a month before, like, hey, sis, end date.
Emails. A little man came and knocked on my door. I'm fairly confident somebody rolled by my job like, hey, Tam, I'm pretty sure. But here's the thing. Willful blindness is a motherfucker. And so I was like, you know what? It'll be all right. This was me probably at like 21, 22. I'm like, it'll be all right. So I went and filed my taxes, right? I'm like, oh, I'm about to get my little change back. I'm working 3 jobs, like, colleges, whatever, school, I'll get back to it. But the 3 jobs, racking up. Yeah. Tax lady said, hey, how are you? So listen, you filed about 2 weeks ago. You got your state, and that's great. But
you're not getting your federal.
So I got this notice for you from federal. What's this?
And that's the thing. See, what a lot of people don't realize.
Wait, all the money? Not even a piece of it?
I think
$1,200?
I think as of early 2019, in the U.S., it's what is it, $1.5 trillion
Yeah.
in student loan debt.
Yeah.
And the
intense.
average graduate is at like
What, like
32K?
32K?
Yes, $32,000 in debt.
And your monthly payments range from what? Like, so my monthly payments were, they started at $50. But when you miss that $50, you know, they give you one courtesy. They're like, it's okay, you missed the first one. It's cool. Don't worry, no interest. Oh, you missed the second one? All right. don't push it now.
Third one, they standing at your door like Nino Brown.
Third one,
Hey,
you
bitch.
owe me $100. You also owe me another $100 for the last $100 that you didn't pay, plus $75, plus a little bit of interest at like, you know, 4,000%.
And plus, I need money to do my nails.
And
so.
honestly, I need money for making this phone call to you. So
And-
now you owe $575 when you could have just paid the $50 10 days ago. But no, bitch. Like, and now you're like, well,
Okay.
And that's the
My monthly payments are equal to my car payments, which is almost $400. And
That is so sweet. That is so sweet. My
Hold on.
monthly payments are $700.
my monthly
And
payments are
that
done.
And that is because
Again, because I did not finish school because I decided to. But for my certifications, I paid out of pocket for that. Like, I paid out of pocket for that.
Yeah.
I had to set up a whole payment plan. And that's not a joke neither. Them payment plans, they are not playing with you. If you decide to fund yourself and you don't get any grants and you don't look for scholarships and you do that, because I was just like, well, I need to do something. I'm like, I know I want to go to school. After all the dust settled, I was like, I know I want to do.
Where did the dust settle on the ass?
Architecture somewhere around. This is probably back there still. Like I was like, I want to do architecture. I want to do interior design. I've always been into this, but I also love psychology. The thing with me for school and the reason why I feel like college didn't stick for me was because I felt like I didn't need it. It's not that I wouldn't have gained anything. It's like, I think college is amazing. I'm going to go back, not one. I'm going to go back because I need to, because I have shit to do that requires me to have a degree so that I can be more official, so that I can look like somebody in America's eyes when I'm already the person that I am without America's eyes. But it's just that for certain things you have to. But if I didn't have to, would I just go and take a trade? Hell yeah. I would probably be a construction bitch.
And that's
you can though.
I mean,
Yeah, you can still be a
I
construction
ride
bitch.
the line of being a construction bitch. I work with
You really
contractors, right? I work with contractors. I'm schlepping tile all day. Like, it's the same
So-
difference. But
I think you bring up a good point. It's not always that you need to though.
Yeah.
Like, I think we've come a long way where it's like you don't necessarily have to go to school. You don't necessarily have to fulfill college requirements.
I think
because
it's ideal. I think it's like this is
I
probably
feel
the
like
American
it's fading
dream.
away though.
Yeah,
It's not,
because
so
there's,
that's not
there's so many more
fading, but, like,
venues that
it's-
have been open.
because
Yeah.
bottom line for me, what I wanted to do for work, I need a degree. Right now I work in finance. I'm in, analytical research. You need a degree for that. Yes.
I'm not even trying to be funny.
You do.
But like sometimes
Because
you get
they-
experience and then you get
No,
Yeah,
but there's
like,
no.
legit.
But that's the thing. There's no experience. They're gonna ask you, "Do you know how to use Excel?" If you say yes, and when they take you to take that pre-test, and you don't know how to run a basic Excel calculator or how to do a pivot chart, well, what classes did you take? What schooling did you? Like, I'm not gonna sit here in front. My degrees are beneficial to my role because a lot of the stuff I learned in class,
Yeah.
I apply to my job. My master's degree right now, like my end goal is to open up my own detox center. It looks better when I say that I have education and background in mental health counseling and healthcare administration.
Of course.
Because they're going to give a grant to a bitch with a degree before they give a grant to someone.
That's not true.
You are more likely to get a grant if you can, because what you have to do is
All
create
you
a
have to do is be able to well put together a freaking proposal.
Yes, but on average, how many people know how to write a good business proposal? Those are things they teach you in college. Those are classes they
Well,
they
yeah.
talk.
Yeah, no,
I was gonna say.
Yeah, that's
because
true,
even
that's
now
true.
I can still learn
But-
outside of college.
So,
So
like,
what I mean, like
Yeah.
the ideal that you have to go to school in order to become this in 2019, I feel is like it's diminishing because it's like we're pushing trade schools because we need these trade schools now after telling kids and people from like 30 years ago, like, yo, go to school. But now we've all gone to school and we're a part of this $1.3 trillion pool, and the unemployment rate is still crazy every 3-4 years. It's
Mhm.
like,
And I want to emphasize, I'm not saying that everything needs school.
No, not
But
at all.
the position, like the field that I want to be in, you need your degree.
right.
And I want y'all to know, only 10% of Americans.
Sugar daddy.
I think the stats. I believe the stat is only. It's like at least 10 to 20% of Americans have a master's degree. It's not high.
That's not.
It's not high.
That's
And-
because school don't beat your ass down so much, and you
Exactly.
You're like glutton for punishment. I think it's no. I mean, like, I have those moments where I'm like, wow, you know, I wish I did go to graduation. I wish I did walk across the stage.
No, I hated graduation.
People cheer for me and
I
stuff.
hate graduation.
And then I'm like, honestly, but for what I want to do, I'm gonna cheer my own motherfucking self on. Like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think the thing is, for like trade and college and stuff, it's about the person. It's about your drive. It's about what the hell you really want to accomplish. Like, I think about, you know, I think about like old school movies and stuff like that, where they're, you know, you could afford to go to college. So you get the guy that started at the bottom and he was a janitor, and now he done runs the whole fucking medical thing. I still believe in like cliche stuff like that. Yeah, like I
Stuff
really
like
do.
still happens, but for someone like me, like I said, I want to open up a detox center.
Well,
when
I
I
go
go
open,
yes, I'm going to open up a detox center,
Yes.
and when I hire nurses, it's going to be hard for a nurse to look at me and be like, I went through 4 to 6 years of nursing school, and my boss is. I work in the field where they look down on their managers and their bosses
I hear you
because
on that. Like I
Shit.
feel like that's in every fucking
shit,
job.
where
You're
I
right.
work,
I
I have the highest degree in my department.
I'm one of the youngest people. I've been one of the youngest people in my jobs. I am looked to as lead above older people. Because why? I have the skill set, I'm quick, I'm a fast learner, and at the end of the day, for what I'm doing personally, like, cool, you went to school for architecture, you learn all that shit for interior design. Let me tell you how simple it is to really come in, teach yourself fucking AutoCAD, teach yourself basic things like, and no offense to designers and interior designers, but all they do is sit around and piece shit together. It's more a creativity thing, more than anything. So for my field, it's like, awesome, you have a great eye, and that's nice. But you don't need to go to school for it.
And I said, like I said, it depends on your field.
Well,
oh, go ahead, sorry.
I would rather college be free.
I
I would
rather definitely be fucking free.
If
There's
college
no
is
reason.
free, everyone should be in there.
Yes, there's no
College
reason
should
why
be
we-
Ain't
free.
college free in Canada?
Not yet, but I'm gonna tell you 6 places.
No,
that
I was gonna say, but then
I got
I'm
six-
like, I can't
there are
remember the
6
places.
countries.
Yeah.
that college is free, like for the free. France was number 6, so I might move over to France.
But don't you have to be like a legitimate resident?
Yeah.
I
Okay,
can't
just go on vacation and never come back.
Oh,
You
yeah,
have to
you think
become
it's that easy?
resident. You gotta be
Yeah,
resident.
then find-
There are stipulations, man.
There are
I'm
some
fairly
very
confident.
good-
She said,
Oh.
but no, France.
Don't
was-
listen to Mario.
Go
Don't
on,
listen
big
to
girl.
Mario.
But France, Slovenia, I'm gonna do it from bottom up. Germany, Sweden, Finland, and Norway.
So Canada didn't have it? I know they have free healthcare. They don't
They have free
education.
healthcare. I think they're working on their education, but
Honestly,
it's
that's very
not.
close. I think it can get there. Toronto's a beautiful city. I see nothing wrong
It's
with
8
it.
hours away from us.
I could totally visit you in 8
Definitely.
hours, hands down. Shit, if I could drive to Rhode Island to and from like a regular basis, I can do that.
I'm
Yeah,
really
it's
thinking
like
I can get
45
my PhD in Canada.
I'm thinking you can too. Let's
Sure
do
you
this
can.
thing. All right.
You can have
Talk
dual
to mine.
citizenship.
Hey,
And-
edition.
And we can go to Carnival every year.
Every year.
Because it's way better out there.
Carabana is amazing. I'm not gonna lie about that, but that's a
And
different topic
OVO
for a different
Fest.
day.
You know, OVO Fest. Me and
Well,
Drake
that's y'all.
rub elbows together.
I mostly am just gonna stand there and hold y'all drinks and drink the drinks, but I'm there for support. I'm there for support.
Be like, yes, Drake.
Drake could pay for my college. Hey, Drake.
I know. Didn't somebody just pay for somebody's tuition?
Lil Uzi Vert.
Yes, just pay for that. What, $90,000? Uzi, I want to go back. I'm a black woman. Help me. I want to go back.
those
I'm about to
scholarships
start
that I
GoFundMe.
missed out on.
I'm gonna say, I wanna
Those
go
scholarships I didn't take serious. The
Yeah.
scholarships that I looked at and I was
You
like, I'm
know,
not writing this.
I remember my senior year, and I remember my she wasn't financial aid, but I don't know what do you call them again? The guidance
Guidance
counselor.
counselors?
I forget. She was like, I went to a charter school, so they came up with some bullshit
Oh,
names like
shit.
peer counselor or whatever the fuck she was. But she legit sat down with my mom, and my parents had just like went through this crazy ass separation. So my mom was like, her account was on E. I'm like, I have no money. I'm like 16. I have 6 quarters and $1 and a bus pass. Like, what can I give you? And honestly, this lady, I just remember her being like, well, I have to be honest with you, after doing your financial contribution calculator thing, whatever, she's like, it doesn't really look good, and maybe you should consider, kind of like low-key telling me, like, maybe I shouldn't go to college, maybe I should just consider going to work and trying to do something like that. Or maybe trying to find, because it was like, because
when you have a parent, this is the thing that sucks. When you have a parent who essentially can co-sign your loans, your parent has to come up with that money according to the government.
If you can't, because she's co-signing for me. So it was like,
you can take out financial aid.
Yeah.
But all your interest and the amount of money you get is going to be based off of your parents' income.
It will be on my mama.
And then how old was your brother at the time?
20.
Exactly. He wasn't a dependent.
20, probably like 26.
They look at it as she's the only dependent. So, you can pay for her. You ain't
22 actually.
You ain't supporting nobody else. You can pay for her.
And so when
that's
they do
how they
that,
look at it.
When they do that family contribution,
Look at Marley's face.
For me, honestly, my mom was there. It wasn't until afterwards, like I went to North Carolina Central in the beginning. I went out of state for school. I was adamant. I was like, no, I want this experience. I'm a spoiled brat. So I was like, Mommy, I'm not staying on campus. I want to stay in these off-campus apartments.
Oh.
So my mom pays for off-campus apartments, and she pays for my semester, and then I had financial aid. The year that I got there, they were like, tuition's going up 7% next year. I'm already paying.
Yo, when you get those letters, you're like,
out of state fees.
Like,
you telling me
7 or like 0.07? Because what?
That 7% was a lot, because I was already paying almost like 20 grand for the semester or for the year. So now 20 grand plus my off-campus apartment, which in North Carolina was like $500 a month.
Which
that
is fair.
Yeah, so like my mom kind of paid for that for the year. So then,
what your mom do for a living?
You don't know that.
Mom.
You don't met her mama. You know what she did.
No, but I was pretty much supported when I came back too, because my mom was like, my parents were going through a divorce, and so the money was drying up. Like, bitch, come on back. So when I came back, I went to community college, and I worked 3 jobs. I was 19, able to work my ass off, paid off a little bit, and my mom was paying off the rest. So luckily, as much as I did, I only have the amount of loans that I have, and it's like,
see,
I didn't have to go through
I paid out of by myself. Boston Architectural, paid by myself. Pine Manor literally was split between me and my mom. Like, because I was like, well, but then there was on some like, well, you're young enough, you can get a loan in your name.
Right.
And it was like, damn.
And they don't tell you what happens, because, see, like I said, my legal parent was deceased. They were both deceased. So I don't have co-signers. It's me by myself with clean credits. Oh. All right, sis. Sign.
You know what? You want to go to school really bad, and you want to be okay. If you just sign right here.
Oh, sign here. You can get extra $2 grand for books. No, you can get $700 for
your firstborn a dribble of blood every 3 days. Ignore that part. Just sign right here.
They did not, and that's the thing. I really wish I sat down and I had someone who could have walked me through, because that's the only. When I look at it, that is the only thing that sucks about my entire college experience is the amount of money that I racked up. And I kid you not, I got about enough, I want to say, in financial refunds, I probably got a good 10 grand. And I could have put that in, my loans would have been at like $90,000.
But then it's like, well, what the hell am I? 90 versus what? At that, sometimes
versus 114 is a lot.
I know, but sometimes you feel like when you get to that point, or maybe it's just me, but it's like you have owe so much. You're like, yo, what is 10 grand going to do?
I know people right now who sit here and be like, I'm gonna just be paying my loans for the rest of my life. Like I have a friend who got her loans consolidated, and she pays $50 a month, and she's projected to she owes mad money.
Projected to finish what? Right before she died? The day before?
2079.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like, so I feel like they should promote more. I wish that my guidance
Y'all
counselor...
vote Bernie Sanders in 2020.
Wow. I wish
Elizabeth Warren in 2020. Those people who want to erase student loan debt, that's who we need to talk to. Because right now, I really wish we were in a place in America where we really did not need these pieces of papers for certain jobs. Because to be a doctor, you need education. To teach, you need education.
You
to work in
actually don't need education to teach. I actually spoke to some dead-ass teachers who you can do coursework, you can do certifications, you really don't.
But it depends on the school you want to teach in. Because if you want to be a BPS teacher,
you don't.
You do. You can only make it so far.
I'm not gonna put this teacher on blast, but I know somebody and they don't.
She better be careful because
I didn't say it was a he or a she.
Okay. So all I know is there are a lot of fields where you need to have a degree, and then you don't get compensated.
No, of course not.
Enough to pay back.
But what I was
loans.
gonna say was when I in that moment when I was talking to my guidance counselor, whatever the fuck she was, when I was talking to her, I wish that it wasn't so like black and white where it was like, oh, college or work. I wish she would have, said, like, well, you could try a trade school or a tech school. Are there other things that you're interested in? And what do you ultimately want to do? I wish that there were.
You could.
To be completely honest with you, I had reached a point where I felt like I was not trying to put that burden on my mom. I wasn't trying to put it on nobody else.
Were you trying to join the army?
No, but I wanted to go. I thought about going to West Point. Because I was just West Point is like a military based school, and I'm probably messing this up because I really don't remember. But at the time, it was like, well, I felt like I needed a clear path and like guidance. I felt like so much had happened in my high school career after sophomore year with my parents and my family being split. Like just a bunch of stuff that I felt like I could not handle. And I know West Point's in Virginia, and it's basically like it's not the army or anything like that, but it's like a damn near damn near.
Okay.
And I was like, maybe I should do that. And
what do they give you? What do they do?
Well, when I had reached out to the woman,
sounds like Scientology.
But the package that they put together was basically like, because what they do is kind of like dress you up a little bit for the army. Like they kind of like, you don't have to go ride that line a little bit. But I was just like, well, I just need to do something. I was like, I need to do something. I need to acquire some kind of education. I was like, you could basically work for them, like, small jobs on base type stuff, and like, you'll get your education. You're basically like paying off your education. And it's the same as when you go to college, they give you those little remedial jobs.
Yeah.
I worked at the library, but it was like, honestly, this is just not it. Like, just not it. It's just, I think the other thing about, when it comes down to like college versus alternative stuff, it's really about sitting with yourself and dead ass being like, it's cool to switch your major, but just know like
that's costly.
That reset is real. And I don't want people to think of things as a time factor. I don't want you to be like, oh, I gotta get it by this time, because I don't operate like that. But
you shouldn't. And then also, when you switch your major, look at the courses you were taking.
Right.
Because certain courses cost more than others.
They sure do. And they don't be crossing over.
And that's, for me, that was the thing. Like, when
Wait, you crossing the street? No, bitch, stay over there.
Like,
that's what it was for me.
Wait, but I thought because I was taking psychology.
No, bye.
Wait, I can't bring none of this with me?
But
I was here all semester.
Damn. 13,000 down the drain.
Yo.
I tried to jump from criminal justice to business management. It was my junior year.
Junior year. Man, she didn't say psychology. She said business man. They said
first of all, that's not a jump. That's a leap.
No, I was like I said, I was taking like certain classes like statistics and stuff, but it was just like
there was a regular because you ain't take business.
And then God forbid you come in undecided and they stick your ass in all types of things.
What I was doing was I was comparing the curriculum for the business management to other programs that I was interested in.
Yeah.
As soon as I realized there would be like a year setback or a 2-year setback, I was like, I've already been at this for 5 years. I'm going to just finish. That's what I'm going to do.
And that's where I came in and told her to get her shit together.
And I got it.
Gathered it in the bag. In a box, if you will. Sell it on eBay. I don't give a damn what you do with it.
Good morning.
So, Mar, what are your closings for us?
My closings, like Tam was saying, I feel like we kind of cut her off. But
we always cut this off. Ain't nothing to cut that bitch.
In closing, I think better for us to sit down and actually look into it, because it's never too late to go back to school.
Nope.
I'm going back. I'm gonna go back and do what I initially set my heart out to do. That will more so correspond.
Strippers got a school?
Y'all lucky I can't lift my leg up.
School, but there's a pole class somewhere that we can go to.
All right.
Anyways. No, sitting down, being honest with yourself, knowing what you really want. If you really want to take a year off to do whatever,
Take it.
Because staying up for 24 hours, trying to make sure that you pass these classes.
No.
For the birds.
Yo, the birds. Okay? Like, I
heard it for the
prepared.
birds. I never stayed up.
I pulled one all-nighter all through.
I've never stayed up.
One.
I pulled an all-nighter. I'm really that student that showed up.
Shut up. We don't want to hear it. Stop.
It's true. It's
Listen,
true.
My takeaway
It's
is
true.
going to. I
I'm
don't
sorry.
want to hear it because I studied and took notes.
I did study and take notes here and there.
My takeaway is us at our adult years, at our older woman years.
Y'all older woman years.
Mentor, like, you know, your nieces, your cousins,
Yeah.
their friends. Talk to them and let them know, like,
For real.
listen, don't let society put this pressure on you. Take
And
your
you
time
have options.
and figure out what
And
you
do
want to
your
do.
research.
Cosmetology school is a career.
It
So is.
Plumbing school,
it
the
costs
Plumbers
less.
Association is a career.
Getting
We
into
will
a
always need a
union
plumber. You
is
will
a
always need a construction
career.
worker.
You
You
will
will always need some. You will
Right
always
now,
need a
construction
mechanic.
is booming.
You will always need a mechanic.
Metro booming.
There were things you like. Just learn that stuff. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Really
I
do your
agree.
research and
I
figure out what
definitely
makes
agree.
you happy.
Truly. And
Think
don't
about
do
getting
it for your parents.
Do it for yourself. Think about getting certification rather than getting a degree, because there are certain fields where you can just get a
And
certification.
you still get paid.
Sometimes even more than that person with the degree.
Ooh, and on that
That's
note,
a fact.
talks with one.
Talks with one.
Have a good night,
Whew.
guys.
I'm going to college, y'all. Good night.